Hello everybody, Chazdex here, and oh my goodness gracious, I just recorded a voiceover for this entire time lapse. I don't even know how long this is. I think this is like, what, 10 minutes? I just recorded that, but that's the thing, I did not record it, so I'm back again. Hopefully I record this time. Good news is, I know it's happening in the time lapse this time. I won't kind of like stumble over my words as much, but definitely a little annoyed way to start off the episode. But anyway, hello everybody, my name is Chazdex, and welcome to my A to Z Planet Coaster series. Today we're working on the B section of the park, which means that I'm being inspired by the letter B and pieces that start with B in the game. I give a more in-depth explanation in my first video, but yeah, that's basically all I'm doing today. I'm building this entrance area, and whew, this is a doozy of an episode. It's very long, very long. Oh, excuse me. Wow. So yeah, anyway, let's talk about what I am doing right now. Well, first of all, let's just put up what my inspiration pieces were. Oh my gosh, I feel another one coming. I feel another burp coming. I mean, granted, I did just drink a whole thing of tea, but, you know. Okay, so let's put up what my inspiration pieces were this time. So you can see right here, I was kind of inspired by just the vibe that I was kind of aiming for with this area, and it's a very big area. We got a lot of cool stuff coming later in the video, so pretty please stick around. It might look a little boring right now, but trust me, it gets a little bit more interesting. But yeah, you can see we're kind of inspired by, I don't even know, like rugged, like I kind of wanted like a very energetic feel. So all these B pieces, it was like they got like these barrels and biplane. That biplane, I just kind of wanted to invoke like a sense of adventure, like all of these items had. So yeah. Anyways, right now, I haven't even been explaining what I'm building. Guys, I'm tongue twisted. I'm very tongue twisted right now. I just recorded an entire thing. Anyways, I don't know what that building's gonna be, and I don't know what any of these buildings are gonna be. Actually, no, that's a lie. I know what a lot of these buildings are gonna be, but I don't do interiors this episode, and I don't plan on doing interiors for these areas anytime soon. Honestly, I just honestly hate interiors. They're so boring, and I'd rather do anything else. So yeah, and also I think just like the way I'm planning to blend between lands, I kind of want to pull a Disneyland and reuse buildings. Maybe I'll show an example right now, maybe not, I'll probably forget. But I kind of want to blend between lands and use the same building structures between them. It'll make a little bit more sense once I kind of start doing that and I build more lands. But if I could, it's just like they do it in real life. For efficiency's sake, they reuse the same buildings, and I figured might as well do the same thing for my park. Now right here, I'm building a smokehouse. I'm thinking this place would kind of serve, I do know what this place is going to be. I know this is going to be like a barbecue, kind of like maybe a pizza oven kind of place. Definitely not guest functioning, and that's another thing I should note. Nothing in this park I've decided is going to be guest functioning. So earlier when I placed that path, pointless. Everything in this park is not going to be guest functioning, guest facing, I should say. Nothing's going to be guest facing. They can't walk through the park. It's mainly just for aesthetics. I kind of want to make this park just like as realistic as possible, and accommodating for guests just does not make that possible. Anyway, right here what I'm building, I'm kind of building this is going to be like a formal sit-down restaurant, whereas that barbecue is kind of more like a quick service. You just pick it up and go, or that pizza place or whatever I decide to make it. This is going to be a very formal sit-down restaurant, and I was kind of inspired by the California missions on this one. I know that's C, but it's fine. It still invokes the same tone of adventure that those B pieces invoke. I was kind of inspired by the California missions. I just love their architecture, and I think I just remember seeing somebody posted about it on their Snapchat stories, and I was like, hey, that looks cool. I remember going there. So I just kind of wanted to replicate that. For the first couple minutes of this time lapse, it doesn't look very good. This building, I wasn't necessarily the happiest with it, and then I kind of threw on like this chimney kind of thing. Chimneys make a building look better. I think we can all kind of agree on that. If you add a chimney, it's automatically just a good build, at least by my standards. If you add a chimney, it just makes everything a little better. But yeah, not really much to talk about right now. I'm just building the building, just going through the motions, building the building. This building kind of did suck though. This building kind of sucked because I wanted to use those adobe walls, but they're on a grid. So it's kind of the same problem that I had last episode, building the entrance with the gridded pieces. It's just so annoying because it's such a good texture, but it's annoying to use. And then this right here, these planters are actually pretty important because last episode I said the main thing I kind of wanted to do, or one of the main parts of the entrance building, is that I wanted to make it feel like really natural, and I didn't really achieve that. I just had a tree behind it, so I figured this episode I could kind of compensate for that by using a lot of foliage in this area, so that when you're looking at the tower, it has a little bit better contrast, because it just kind of looks barren when it's there alone. But with all these trees and planters to kind of give it a little contrast down below, I definitely think it looks a lot better. And this planter right here, I'm actually kind of happy with this planter, just like functionality wise, because like a lot of people, they just like have the entrances to their bathrooms out in the middle of nowhere. But if you look at real theme parks, and especially Disneyland, I'm very inspired by like Disneyland and Universal for this park specifically. Universal, I mean Islands of Adventure specifically. I'm very inspired by that. And if you look at their bathrooms, they aren't generally like in plain sight. I'm sure there's examples of bathrooms that are literally just like right in public view, but most of the time, like, you know where they are, but they, like, you don't really see them. They're kind of like tucked away a little bit, but they're still easy to find. So I figured I'd do the same thing with this, and kind of also follow the same conventions as the other parks, having it just like right to the side of the entrance, so that way in real life, if somebody's coming here, they would like, and they were like, they already understood like, okay, Disney and Universal put bathrooms right by the front of the entrances. Disney and Universal, but come on, I cannot talk today. I'm still ironing out everything, still getting used to this. But if they saw Disney and Universal, they would kind of use that same logic here. And again, not talking about this build. I figured this is just going to be like a gift shop, a little novelty shop. We already got like 2 restaurants, 1 building that I have no clue what I'm doing with, and then we got this little gift shop. So I figured this would kind of be like a shipping themed gift shop. I don't know, I just kind of always like that theme. Again, Disney, but what is it? It's the gift shop in Adventureland and Disneyland. I don't know, I just really like that, or just like the Jungle Cruise aesthetic. I really like that, so I kind of wanted to capture that. And yeah, right now it's just a little bit of finishing touches. We still have a lot to do. I'm not even close to being done here. No, by far not even close. Oh, but lighting was actually pretty interesting, especially for this park, or especially for this area of the park, I should say. Because I kind of wanted to give you like a warm feeling when you're leaving the park and when you're entering the park. So I kind of want to make you feel comfortable no matter where you're coming from. And I figured a good way to do that is just kind of use like, I don't know, I just kind of placed everything until it felt right. I'm trying to sound smart, and I don't know what I'm talking about. That happens a lot. Try to sound smart and you don't know what you're talking about. And also, there's a couple shout outs that I have to give to some Reddit there's a couple shout outs that I have to give to some Reddit users, and I will put them right here on the screen. They gave me some valuable advice, I guess you could say, on like things I should do. I posted about this area on Reddit, and people are like, you should do this thing, you should do this thing, and I did them, and it made it look better. I think it was just one guy, honestly, that said like you should do X thing. Totally forgot, I'm sorry, but I'll put your username up here. It's probably still up here, and editing Chazdex is probably a little annoyed that I was blabbering on for so long. This right here, this is the only somewhat close to interior that I did this episode. It's a bathroom, obviously, but it's not a fully furnished bathroom. I literally just put the walls up, but that's going somewhere for me. I put walls and lights up, and that's good enough for me. I've never actually done a custom bathroom before, so I figured we're gonna have bathrooms all over this park. Might as well get some practice in right now, and yeah, that also kind of set the stage for what I want that backstage wall, those backstage walls to look like. This right here, this is kind of building on what I did last episode. Last episode honestly was a pretty boring start to the episode. A pretty boring start to the series. It was literally just the entrance building, and it was a pretty small entrance building at that. It took me 1 day in total to make that entire episode. So I figured this time I'll definitely make it bigger, and this episode is definitely way bigger. I think I'm at the 12-minute mark right now. Yeah, 12 minutes, I'm pretty sure. I'm at the 12-minute mark right now, so we are going on a while, but I figured to kind of make up for that, I will make this episode longer, and I also put these ticket booths up front, and to kind of hide the fact that the ticket booths are clipping into the wall, I just kind of put like a utilities closet in that bathroom, just to kind of be like, hey, there might be like toilet paper or whatever in here, but that's just kind of a little bit of a cop out. Anyway, right here, this is going to be gone before I can even tell you what it is, but basically it's just a cool looking chimney. I just figured this building kind of needs a little bit more. Obviously this isn't necessarily that realistic to what they have at the real life missions, but this is all really up for interpretation. Not the missions. The missions are not up for interpretation, but I was just inspired, and I was just being kind of goofing around and being creative with this build. Now I'm kind of expanding out to the main centerpiece of this entire park. Similar to Universal Islands of Adventure, the centerpiece of this park is going to be a big old lake. I actually think I'm going to have multiple lakes split out. And I'm using a pretty cool trick right here to give your lakes a little bit more texture. You use screens with like a coral reef image, and you put them underwater and kind of like mix them up a little bit. It definitely kills your frame rate if you're looking anywhere near these, because there's just so many, and it's like a bunch of custom images. So I just got to be pretty careful with that. Honestly, I might just drop them, because you can't really notice it if you're walking around. You only really get it if you're looking up. But yeah, this right here is actually the building that I've been looking forward to most this episode. It's this bank, kind of like sweet shop kind of thing. I don't even know what I was gonna I don't even know what I'm doing with this, honestly. I have no clue what I'm putting in the interior, and I have no clue what I'm putting on the exterior, aka the sign for what the place is gonna be. And then this right here, this is just like a random cabin that I built. I just figured this is actually gonna come in pretty handy for next episode. Wink wink nudge nudge, because I don't know why I said wink wink nudge nudge. That does not make sense. Next episode we are building in the C section. No, I'm not finishing the parking lot. I'm not working on the parking lot. Not working on roads, something that you might think for C. Next episode I'm actually just being inspired by the letter C. You'll see what that means next episode. Just be patient. Just be patient, maybe. Just be maybe a little bit patient. Yeah, good boy. But next episode, this building's just going to come in pretty handy because it's going to help me transition into that C area. Similar to how Disney kind of transitions between lands, I kind of wanted to make it so you can see that building from both lands and it won't necessarily stand out that much. but then as you walk past, it'll kind of like morph and act as a good transitional building. And that's another reason why I didn't technically complete this entire area, because you'll see I place a foundation for another building in a couple seconds here, or at least I attempt to, and then place something completely different. Yeah, right here. So I place that foundation right there. I don't actually do anything with it this episode, because for the same reason that I built that cabin right there, like that fisherman's cabin, I don't necessarily want to. I want to make sure that looks good as a transitional building, so it fits into this land and the land adjacent to this, which I have no clue what it's going to be. I'll do that when the time comes. Speaking of time, I think our time for this build is almost up. Maybe a little bit more, but the time lapse is essentially over. I just got to finish this building right here. I actually built this building while listening to a Fantano interview. Anthony Fantano, internet's busiest music nerds. My words are not wording today. That's just great. But yeah, I built this while listening to an interview, so I was locked in, and it was a very intense interview as well. So I was just kind of locked in while building this, and I built this most recently, so I've been feeling fresh recently, and I think that kind of shows in this build. I was willing to take on a fresh new style. But yeah, it's basically just more of the same, so I'll just cut it off here, and I'll see you guys in the cinematics. Bye.